Just wanted to finish up a little experiment I'm doing in this little test town that I'm creating. Making a way to project stuff down on. The goal is to take this line, feed it this way. Divide it as many times as we need to. Now we're going to set position. Set position. We want to take each time we want to take this, join it, with the other ones. That way we repeat once. I guess we need geometry to go into it. No matter what, we'll want one. And we want this offset to be derived by our. So make a int called count. And for each time we go through this, add 1. Okay. We're only ever going to move this on the Y. We go ahead and combine. Count. This multiplied by whatever distance we want. Distance here. Y. Count. Change. Distance should be negative. Okay. So how many times we do this is dependent on size of the square spacing we want to make. So if we have a rectangle, this is X, this is Y. We want to know how many times we need to cut one or the other. So there would be 3 comparisons. There would be, does X equal Y and greater or less than? Those are the 3 conditions that we want. And this will create a ratio. Let's assume just a perfect square for right now. But for the mesh line, all we need to do to increase our X count is just subdivide mesh. To points. Put this right. So it's going. A little hard to see the points, but they're there. Okay. So when we subdivide, boom, we just add 1. But we want some sort of distance. First, we want to know how long is the bounding box on the x-axis. So we actually have that value right here. Call this x length. Like to divide that length by value. I really don't like that bake is the first one that shows up. This will be okay. So, let's say 2. So that would be subdivide. Rough. Values load my I see. Do that. All right, this is the distance. This is the spacing. Now, that same distance, go for the x length, we also want to determine y length. Y max here and divided by this is our y length. Do with that. That determines our offset. So take that distance, do a division again, divide the same distance here, and then multiply it. In this case, we multiply it first by -1. Then we can plug it in. Divided it by the distance. That doesn't quite work. What we need to know is, what we need to determine is how many iterations. So that's actually what the value. This is how many times we do. Seems close, but arbitrary. Okay, so this is our ratio. Our ratio of x length to y length. So right now we know that y is bigger than x. Divide it. Oh, and then multiply it by, guessed it, 1. I'm Amish Bliss. Welcome back. Sorry, I'm losing hope now. It's hard to learn Blender. I'll try Open Tunes, but I'm not able to even do anything in either of them. Please suggest something. Oh. I mean, you should start small. Start with something you like, something that's interesting, and go from there. Is there a particular project you're trying to make? Let's think about this one more time. So, from the start, the end. Just clean up a little bit. Start position, X length. Beautiful. Distance is how far you would. makes sense. Then this is messy, right? Line go. My line. All right, so we take the bounding box. Sure, to take any course on Blender. My parents think of me crazy. I'm awake all night, but I'm hardly able to learn mesh model anything I want. Very torturing. Please times 0 in. You should get involved in a community. So you're gonna always, if you're struggling to do things by yourself, but you want to learn, I would recommend going to a local college or something, or finding an online group, getting involved in like a project that they are doing. That will help a lot. So they are there. Have to have it selected the whole time. All right, so when I take the Y length of Y, and I divide it by the distance, Y amount. Offset. Let's start with a small project. You know, you need to have a goal. Like, I'm gonna make a character. As long as your tutorials are great, courses are great, but you need to know what you want out of it. What do you want to make? It can't just be to learn. Like, you should know what you want to make. All right. A little complicated, so sorry to stop talking. So the X distance, I think, is correct. So this is about 6 meters this direction. But our spacing on the Y direction maybe that. Okay. So we can subdivide the mesh right here. It's actually the one. This would be the no, that is Y amount, because that's how many times that way. Now, in order to understand our mesh, we can subdivide it. As we subdivide it, we have this distance, and we are dividing it by the amount with every subdivision. Every subdivision we do half, half, half. So the question is, given our distance, the length xy's, if we divide the length along the x by this, that's how many cuts we should have. No, that's the length of a cut. The length of each cut. Not the amount of cut. Length divided by distance. Same. Well, if I plug this in, we get way too many. Doesn't go the other way. Distance. Saved. Be the wrong one. So what I want to know, how many times 6 fits in. Oh, and that's the length. I need the Y length. By that, it's too dense. What is the dealio? I know how many times maximum x, most positive x value, subtracted by minimum x. Oh, I see. I see what's going on. The issue is that I'm subtracting. But this is a negative value over here, because we're way on the negative x side over here. Like it's the, okay, that's interesting. So I don't technically want to use a length here. I would rather use distance. So I want to combine into new vectors. take max, maximum x, put them in distance. This pops out a little. It actually doesn't matter what the value is that I plug these slots into, because we're kind of bringing it down to one dimension. And go ahead and turn this into distance. I mean, that's the same as if I just as complex as if. Okay. Let's leave it. Doesn't really matter what I call these, but I will put just min and max. Probably a better way. Distance. All right. X distance. Judging by how nothing exploded. Good. Excellent. Oh, it's because I duplicate. Duplicado. This one should. Y distance. Okay. Still way too many. All right, that didn't help at all. So you're an actual artist. Sorry, drawings are short. Sir, I'm nothing. Will I be able to make anything as my custom mesh model? If so, yes. How did you start it? Be learning to know how you started. So if you review, I have all my VODs saved on YouTube. So if you'd like to see kind of a full character process, it might take quite a while, but if you go to my channel, you go to playlists, there is a full creation process. It's like a week, like 2 weeks worth of work, but I go through my entire process for creating an avatar in this. So definitely recommend checking it out. Like it's a little bit out of order, but they're labeled correctly. dash line, subdividing it. We know that distance. Have the x distance right here, 43. Oh, what if we just need a round? Maybe the issue isn't, I don't think it's the math I'm doing. We have our large distance, we divide it by a smaller distance, but we probably need to round. Better. See, when we mute that, still. The tough part is subdividing. It's like an exponential process. So do 7 subdivision. Well, that's my answer right there, isn't it? I can't subdivide. That's awesome. Then we have solved it on the y, but what we need to do now is create I think what we do is we just have this ridiculous amount. We want to scale. Based on our starting position. That distance we already have this ratio. We already know the x distance. We already know the x distance. We have the amount. On the x. 6. It's just 1 divided by 6. Yeah. Scale. Scale elements. I just need to transform geometry. Scale. So close. Oh. Duh. Da 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 da. Right here. It's the same value. There we go. Now we've made squares. That took a while. Took quite a while. It was very fun, honestly. Now we can increase that. Be able to. Should be able. So basically what we want scaling. Oh. Oh. Couldn't have got put it so low. All right. So here's the issue. As we scale up, we're turning down the amount of cuts. We basically need to do it the other way. Plug it. I'm thinking that these need to. Excuse me. It really should just be this distance. Thank you, Oliver. Divided by what? The reality is that distance is the same, and I keep increasing it. Oh, should be the other one. Hello, Reyes. Welcome. Things wrong. That has to be like that. Never offset. Yeah, so it's just this. That's sort of. Just be that. These are issues. It's the iterations, but for the wide distance. Rename this to X intervals. Same thing for Y. Plug this in here. That's this right here. What we're doing. These are the Y. So it's how we calculate these intervals that must be the issue. Because, again, we have a distance, x or y. Want to know one interval every 8 meters, which is what we have. Vertical distance. So close to figuring this out. No, I'm misunderstanding about how this. There's something fundamental that I don't quite comprehend. When we have a distance here, I have an interval, and this interval should be. I have y. If I want to find the interval of y, divide it. These values, single value. The interval is what we want, so that's distance. Call it spacing. Spacing. And when I divide y by spacing, so interval. Now, how many can I fit? X, X, X. That's what I get. These. Now when I'm making my line, I go but it breaks down as I increase the distance. Be these here. Think a little bit more closely about that. When I have X, we're just using the vector distance operation. Give these values. And map. World building stuff? Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to make a way to tile, make tiles on this area. I'm so close to figuring it out. We had a different version working a little while ago. It should look something like this. Whatever. Could have worked. Something like this, where we can tile these tiles. That's kind of the goal. Now we're trying to spot where we're instancing from. Focus on just this mesh line. Know that that's not working. Making this mesh line. I have this whole distance, which is a distinct number, 43. I'm dividing 43 by 8. Gives me this interval. 5. Increase this. It's smaller. But the mesh line count stay basically the same. The other way. By the offset. to make a phone call in just one moment. Multiply, multiply. Staring me in the face. I'll be right back. All right. Okay. This has to make sense. Why is this not making sense? So we have our big distance. And then we go, I have big distance. I want to know how many points I have along this distance. So we divide, we get this value right here, which is the x intervals. This should be the count. This should be the count. How many points we can put in there. That's how many times we can fit this distance into that distance. That is yes. Now, should that not be the exact same thing as the offset? Give it this count, give it the offset, find on x here. Should work. Well, no, of course not, because four segments of 4 feet is square. So it can't, it would always shrink because it would be this distance. It would just be the interval distance. We have the distance, the big number, we divide it, we get the smaller number. That is how many times the interval. That gives us our count. How many times we want to make this one. Say a bit points because I see the points. Blah 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 as we increase this distance. That it has to be that. I don't understand about this. So these are set values. These do not change ever. Moment. All right, back again. This should be exact. It should be perfect. It should be. Big distance. We say, let's just use an example. We have 10 as our length. We have over a distance of 2. That means that we can put 2 into it 5 times. So when we divide, we know that that's definitely the count. Count is correct. Okay, yeah. Okay, there we go. I think it was confusing me because as we got to these bigger numbers, it looked more broken. I don't want to. Okay. Gotcha. So the bigger numbers look confusing because it does clip. It does clip because I'm giving it a specific count of 4. So, I guess I could just make one more point. At the very end. That way we'll always see the distance update. If I took starting position, I had it right. It just visually was not looking correct. This one is ending position. Make a mesh line of 1 here. There. Now we should always have here. Doesn't really do it justice. I don't like that it changes. I'd rather like the jitter. That bugs me. What would we have to do to fix that? We just have to round. What would we round? We would round Arg, I decided to make my own Discord server post some chibi models. If anyone liked them, then I realized I need to advertise. I hate the algorithm. Oh, yeah. I feel you there. I mean, technically, you can just pay to advertise. Still better than the olden days. The old days. What service should I advertise on? Ooh, that's a tough question. I think YouTube's probably a really good one to build on. Yeah, I would recommend YouTube. I feel like X and Twitter, that's hard to say. Who knows if it'll even exist in 4 years. But yeah, YouTube's been around a long time, and like TikTok is a little more temporary. TikTok and YouTube, probably your best bet right now. Do a lot of shorts. Good luck. Jamie, the only person I rely on, even though I'm just a guy you most see on your streams, I trust. Thank you, Ro. I definitely wish you well with getting out there. I would just keep in mind, I think I'm not the best when it comes to being a content creator or like trying to grow your brand. But really what you're offering is just value. Like either value through entertainment or value through information. You know, you just kind of need to think about as long as you're offering things that people find valuable in some way or another, you're going to be fine. And a good metric of that is if it's something you find valuable. Isn't a distance. How many times it should happen? It's all good. Love these. Wrong is one more time to take the distance. Distance by the end. Like now, we've done it. There we go. Now we can create a grid. Bounding box. Bam. That took a really long time. But my brain is bigger now. I'm about to die. Then we can take this. A little hard to see what's going on. Basically, take our link to viewer. What's the hotkey? Node Wrangler view selected. Super easy. Alright, but basically we have this big grid, and using array cast for each position, we sample, hey, are you touching the world? Reason it missed. Get this started. Bye. Viewed. Okay, but yeah, so we made this big grid. That was the tough part, figuring out how to make the grid adapt to any size. It'll always be just at the very top above everything. Then we raycast down from each point. We go, hey, did you hit geometry? And if you did not, we delete you. If you did, we keep you. And then we move them to the surface. Now you can see they're actually aligned with the surface. Then on each of those points, we spawn a well, before we spawn any points, we then take, we don't have to do this, but we're deleting the geometry based on distance. And then we instance these stones on them. What we're doing, I wanted to put something that kind of appears next to and of course we can scale these stuff. And I also would like to set the position distance. Now they kind of very subtle. Now they kind of tilt. Shape. Distance. Right. One second, everyone. I'm gonna show someone camera what I've been up. Drop my camera. All right, y'all. I'm back. I am back. We're gonna do a little bit more tweaks and changes. I'd like to give just some randomness. Thank you, Beth. I will be. And we're gonna. Oh, thank you. This allows us to do an offset rotation. So we're gonna do a random value range. Do a value. Multiply this by 1. And this will allow us to just click this. Get just these slight variations. Tiles. Hi, Beck. I'm Ollie. You're on both of them. There's two of them. All this. We'll call this random range. Oh, the input should be output should be. Okay, but now we can tweak these. And what? Two? Where? Who? Huh? And then we can duplicate this, move it here. Now we'll do the scale. That one has to work over. Oh, well, that's a vector. We're doing scale. We just want random value. Float. Say min 0.95. Slight, very, very slight. Then lastly, form geometry. This time we'll do. Translate instances instead of transform. And just the smallest amount of offset gives it such nice believability. I really love things. And it's just so cool because all of these are like just so easy to adapt. Go in, up, and it's based on a collection too, so we can even make other ones. Say we or no. It is working, but I just have to. So I want to. Dissolve. Some smooth, some not smooth. I go to instance on points, say pick instance. Got this other way to create variation. It's super cool. I really should be adding textures as I go. Excuse me. Few things that'd be nice to add would be like pipes, little chimneys. It reminds me of Team Fortress 2 right now. But these roofs kind of suck. Roofs are kind of garbage. Okay, but I really should try. Well, it's Halloween. Let's just keep goofing around for a little bit longer. I can make it a little more Halloween themed. It looks good. I'm so pleased. Okay. Sorry. Used. I really don't like these roofs. I think this looks better as a roof. We'll really have to spend some time thinking about what a roof should look like. Um, For a D&D world, yes, yes. Just starting to really build a solid library of tools to use and make and for building stuff. Thank you, No Name. Appreciate that. Alright, well, we do have other things to figure out right here, like why these don't want to align better. Solid foundation. Been able to get the hang of. Not the normal. And if they're supposed to be like vertical, then feet. Then you get stuff like this poking out. That don't look right. That don't look right. Interesting. That's good. So this is the rotation, and I want to try to align it to the tangent. Get shit like this. Like, look at that. I think what I need to do is actually sample the geometry, probably. So we get the geometry here, we select the attribute. Did it twice for some reason. Try just sample nearest surface. We'll take our original geometry. That's the nearest surface. Sample near. Point. Oh, but then it gives me the index. Wouldn't this be the exact same thing? Better. I did give myself a disservice by 3. That looks awful. Okay. I'm not entirely sure how I will want to do that. I know that this isn't quite it, but has to be. So I take current rotation, take the tangent, say, line up with that tangent, maybe the normal, and we'll take it, that rotation, also line it up. Darn close. And then maybe I'm confused because we are introducing this random rotation there. Oh, what if it's this? We'll leave it there. Gotta be a better way to do it. Can't see it just yet. Clean up our tile script. This one's actually going to be crazy useful. Crazy. Basically, what it'll do is give us a grid of points above. Space, distance. One. And we'll call this geometry to we feed in geometry and we get a grid of which is useful. This is basically, instead of like the random distribute points on faces, would be distribute grid of points. But it's good to clean up our little grids that we make, because now I get to reuse that. Anytime I ever need to do that again, go. And then here, ready cat. really need. Well, actually, no. This part right here, where we take our points. That is pretty useful. Maybe the good of points. Then we I know I'll probably do some. Okay. 437. Let's do a few of them. Make a Bezier curve. All those gutters. What I want to do is curve this. Attribute curve to that is it? What I'm good. Why don't I have this? Why don't I have access to this? I want to use this one. Why can't I access that? Is it because I don't have geometry as my immediate input? Curve to mesh with custom pro. Why can't I use that? I want to use that. Oh, modifier. Ah, interesting. I'll have to really double check that I'm clicking. Yes, there we go. Okay. Hmm. Why can't I see? Oh, you can't. So geometry is something that's inherent to an object, but you can only access geometry either on the object itself or through an object info node. Gotcha. Fascinating. That's stupid. This would be curve to mesh with custom profile. This one is not meant to be a modifier. We actually would need curve mesh. Then we can search curve to mesh custom profile. See, this one we can use feeding stuff in. But we have to have a version that we can use as a modifier and a version that's meant to be low level, stay within our stacks. Interesting. Both of these we would need to attach object. Like this could probably be script. This is just like a wrapper around a function to make it accessible at certain. All right, so curve profile. Drop the gutters in. Make a new profile curve. This one. Eat. Cursor, where make. Okay, circle. Drink. Rotate 45 degrees. Cool. Got our Geo node. Look at this resample curve. I feel like that should be optional. Always want to resample. We're going to put in a switch. Geometry. Here, caps, call this free sample. And if it's true, then obviously, well, if it's false, we not. Okay, that's good. This one, sample. Don't look. Just a little. Back to cut right on. Say don't cut edge. make a gutter, we would actually need more complex system. Update the what I want to do. Similar. Target the roof. Start at that. Change the norms. I feel like it needs to be beveled or something. A little bevel on it. Crispy. Yeah. We are going to do this roof. Roof 2.0. We do this select attribute edge curve. I'd also like to do a select one where it's an attribute. Extract mesh attribute. That here. Same attribute. Just we'll set the position. as well. I'm going to delete the geometry. That is the edge. Select edge neighbors. Why it doesn't give me my sometime. Split. This one we'll do just a circle. Pretty much. A 4. Smooth, which is what I could actually do. Profile. But now we can join them all. Much better. Looking so much better. Then we'll just want to do the roof portion. We'll want to set material. Pretty easy. Duplicate. That looks awful. That looks so much worse. When we set the position on it, they want to use. we're making progress. Not like the best, but better. A little less vague, for example. Oh, y'all, it is time for me to end it. I'm gonna go fart around. We're gonna be doing some Halloween activities, and I hope you all do as well. Hope you all have an amazing Halloween. Tomorrow, we're gonna be getting a little bit more serious, getting back to work. It was fun to take a little break and kind of explore some personal projects. I'm learning so much geometry nodes, and I know it'll be useful, but definitely, I feel like I'm still hitting a few snags every now and then, but it will be worth it. I'll just be able to. I won't have to rely on everything to be so man. Tools for myself, which is exciting. Have a nice rest of your day. Happy Halloween. Same to you, Arctic. Enjoy your Halloween. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I will see you all tomorrow. See you then. Goodbye.